Did you know that most businesses can easily make an extra $5,000 to $10,000 a month without having to invest in new customers? The secret? Reactivating your old leads. These are some really stunning statistics. 71% of qualified leads are never followed up. 80% of leads go dormant within 90 days. Another statistic shows that 20 to 30% of leads in a CRM are dormant. This means that your existing database probably contains at least $5,000 to $10,000 worth of clients if you went ahead and reached out to them. But of course, you've already got your existing clients, you've already got your new outreach going on. So who has time for dormant leads, right? So that's where AI comes in. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can build an AI-powered lead reactivation system which uses AI calling, call your dormant leads, gauge their interest, and potentially schedule another meeting with you. Let me show you how it works. I'm going to add one of my other numbers as the lead. Let's click Add Lead. I'm going to select this and click Start Calling. And I'm going to receive a phone call over here. There we go. Let's answer. Hello?
Hi there. You were interested in investing in some property in Dubai, right?
Yes, I was.
That's fantastic to hear. Are you still interested in exploring real estate investment opportunities in Dubai?
Not at this time, but thank you for following up.
I completely understand. Thank you for your time. And if you ever reconsider or have any questions in the future, feel free to reach out. Have a great day.
So just in the interest of keeping things short, I cut the call saying that I wasn't interested just to show you how it works. So you'll see that this changed, the status changed to call completed, and the outcome was not interested. And the way I've set this agent up is that if I had said yes, it would have gone ahead and given me some examples and potentially asked me to book a meeting with a sales representative. So let's go ahead and see exactly how we can build this. We're going to be using Lovable and VAPI to do this. So first off, we're going to head to VAPI.ai. VAPI is AI voice platform. You can create phone numbers. You can set up inbound calling. You can set up outbound calling. It's pretty good and it's good value for the price, and it's fair. It's very customizable too. You can also use other services like Retail or 11 Labs if you're comfortable with that. But for this tutorial, I'm going to stick to VAPI. So once you're in VAPI, you can go ahead and create a free account. They give you 10 credits to play around with. So this is more than enough to get started. We're going to go ahead and create a phone number. We're going to create an assistant. And once everything in VAPI is set up, we're going to create a front end for Lovable where we can import all of our leads and essentially ask that app to just call and reach out to all of those leads and update them one by one. So it's a very automated process. So once you're in VAPI, the first thing you want to do is go down to phone numbers, click on phone numbers and click create phone number. Right, you can create a free VAPI number. So let's just go ahead and add any area code. I'm going to put in 516 because that's where I grew up. Let's hit create. Right, so I have a phone number over here. I'm just going to give it a label. And you also want to enter a server URL. Now, while you're starting out, just enter any test URL. When you're starting out, just enter a test URL. We are going to come back and replace this, but we do want VAPI to try to send requests here. But it's important that you have this test URL over here, and we'll see why that is important later on in the video. So set this up, give it a label, YouTube demo, and scroll down, and everything else is pretty much straightforward. We do need to select an assistant, but we have to create one first. So we're going to create one, come back here and select that assistant. Let's go back up, hit save. All right, the phone number settings have been saved successfully. It's going to take some time to activate, but we'll use that time to go ahead and create our assistant. Next up, go to Assistants, click Create Assistant. Let's give it a name, call it YouTube Demo. You can either use a blank template or VAPI has templates built in as well. The closest template that we have at this point is a lead qualification specialist. For now, let's stick with a blank template and go ahead and create our assistant. Right, so we have our assistant over here. The first thing to configure is the AI model. You'll see that we have these little green bars here. Essentially, these are all of the requests that are going through to make this voice call happen. So we have the VAPI request, we have another request going to DeepRam, we have another request going to GPT-4o, We have another VAPI request, and this is the actual web request as well. And all of these put together is why you essentially have some latency. This much latency is going to have to be built in because the way voice agents work is there's a lot of things happening under the hood. So when you speak to a voice agent, your voice is first transcribed into text. That text goes into an AI agent like OpenAI or Google or whatever. That AI agent responds as text. That text is converted back into audio and then sent back to you. So this is how voice agents essentially work. And that's where that latency comes in. Now, obviously, as the technology improves, the latency is going to improve as well. So if you come down into the model, you can choose a lot of different AI providers. I found that OpenAI is the cheapest, and you can also see the cost over here. So we have the 4.0 cluster is 2 cents. If we use 4.1 mini, you'll see that the latency is 770 milliseconds, and that's 1 cent. And the 4.0 cluster is 600 milliseconds for 2 cents, and the 4.0 mini cluster is 390 milliseconds for 1 cent. Since our use is not that advanced, we're looking to build is essentially just a basic conversational agent. The 4.0 mini cluster should work fine for us, where the latency is also less and the cost is less as well. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. For the first message mode, we can either choose the assistant can speak first. This would be useful if this is an inbound call, but since we're doing outbound calling, we're going to wait for the user to pick up and say hello, right? So assistant waits for user. First message is hello. And below that, we need to put in a system prompt. Now for the system prompt, these are the instructions to your assistant. What is it exactly that you want your assistant to do? So let's say you are a lead reactivation agent for a real estate agency. Essentially, your system prompt would be instructions as to what the role is. So you are a lead reactivation agent. What exactly is it that that agent is supposed to do in the phone call? And potential talking points and guardrails as to things that you don't want the agent to say. Now, you can go ahead and write out the whole prompt yourself, or you can use a little bit of help from VAPI's own AI and generate the prompt as well. In the interest of keeping things nice and short, I'm going to write a very brief system prompt. In production, you're going to need to be a lot more detailed. All right, so here's the prompt. You are a lead reactivation agent for a real estate agency called NYC Real Estate. Your job is to contact dormant leads from the company CRM and gauge their interest in NYC Real Estate. If they are still interested, you are to help them book a meeting with a real estate agent. Things you can talk about: the potential of NYC real estate, price ranges, buying for investment or as a residence. And most importantly, engage in limited small talk if the user does so, because we do want the agent to sound human and not robotic, but divert back to the subject as soon as possible, because we are, after all, paying by the minute. We don't want calls to drag on unnecessarily. Right now, again, this is a oversimplified system prompt for this demo. In production, I would encourage you to experiment with expanding the prompt, calling the agent a few times and seeing how the conversation goes, and then using that information to adapt your prompt into something that's ready for production. All right, so if we scroll down, we can configure the voice. There's some additional set configurations. So we can either disable background sound. If you want to make it sound like an office, you can add office tracks as well. But remember, this may add to your overall latency, so just keep that in mind. Now, we also can add some tools. We do want to add one tool, which is the book a meeting tool. So we can select the tool and go to create new tool. click Create Tool, and VAPI can connect directly to Google Calendar or to go high level to create a calendar event and to check calendar availability as well. So you would set this tool up, and when your lead gives you their email address, VAPI is actually going to call Google Calendar and go ahead and actually pencil in a meeting. So ideally in production, you would use check availability first just to make sure that there are no conflicts. But just to keep things simple, I'm just going to use the create event tool for now. Call it Google Calendar tool. Use this tool to book a 30-minute meeting with the customer. You have our calendar ID, the time zone, and let's go ahead and hit save. I've already connected Google for now, but if you do this for the first time, it's going to ask you to go ahead and connect Google as well. So if we come back to assistance, come back here and scroll down and find tools, we can go ahead and select the Google Calendar tool. Now we can come back to the system prompt. Looks like I forgot to hit save. So let me go ahead and just regenerate that prompt. Right, so essentially it's the same instructions with the addition of, if they are interested, book a meeting by getting their email address and calling the Google Calendar tool. All right, and we also have to give it the year. So if we scroll down, we have our Google Calendar tool enabled. And finally, if we scroll all the way down, let's just hit publish first. Okay, so everything is saved. Now, if you scroll down, the last section is structured outputs. Now, this is important because this data is going to get sent back to our app in Lovable, and Lovable is actually going to use that to update the list. If we go down to structured outputs and expand this section, we can actually create specific data points that we want VAPI to extract from the call and send back to us. So if we click on add structured output, you'll see that I already have a few set up. So I have one setup called meeting scheduled, which is a Boolean, which means it's either true or false. And I've also got one called not interested, which is another Boolean, meaning true or false. The potential outcome from this particular agent is going to be either they're interested in a meeting, so we have meeting scheduled, or they're not interested and we need to remove them from the CRM, so it's going to return not interested. If you wanted to create more structured outputs, you can click this button, either use one of their templates, or you can create one from scratch as well. So if we come back into assistance, scroll down, and let's add structured outputs. So I'm going to add the Boolean not interested, right? And add it to this assistant, hit save. Then we also need to add meeting scheduled as well. YouTube demo, hit save. Perfect. So if we come back down, just go ahead and add those structured outputs again. Not interested, so we have the YouTube demo added to it, and we also have it active in meeting scheduled as well. So everything's set. So now that we have VAPI more or less set up, it's time to go into Lovable and start building out our app. So let's go ahead, go to dashboard and create a new app. And by the way, if you want these prompts, they are available inside the school community. The link is in the description. So we have instructions where we want to create a simple dashboard where I can either add leads manually or add leads with a CSV, which sends the numbers to VAPI. The app must handle concurrency and get the response from VAPI and update the table to show the status. Now, it's important that we will create the webhook and status events in the next step. And the webhook is what actually is the mechanism for receiving the response back from VAPI. In step one, we're just going to configure the calling And in step 2, we're going to configure receiving a response from VAPI. And I've also dropped in the exact call structure from the documentation so we don't mess that up, and we can use as few credits as possible to get it right in the first go. Okay, let's hit OK. And then Lovable is going to do its thing. Okay, so it's asking us to enable Lovable Cloud, which is the backend and database. So let's click Allow. Right now it's asking us to add some secrets, and the secrets are the API key, the assistant ID, and the phone number ID. So we can go back to the VAPI dashboard and click on API keys, get our private API key by clicking copy, come back here, paste it in. Then we need the assistant ID. So we can go to assistants, make sure you got the correct one selected, and this here is the assistant ID, copy, paste it in. And we also need the phone number ID. So we can go back to phone numbers, make sure we have the correct phone number selected. And while we're here, we're going to hook it up to that particular assistant as well. YouTube demo, hit save, copy the ID from here, come back, paste it in, hit submit, and let Lovable continue doing its thing. Right, so the secrets are configured. Now it's going to continue creating some database schema. So anytime it prompts you, just make sure that you know what it's doing. You can go ahead and click allow and let it continue doing its thing. Right, so it ran into some errors. It's going to try and fix those errors. And perfect. So we have everything pretty much ready. All right, so in what's next, we need to add a webhook handler, but we can do that in the next step. So let's first go ahead and add a lead. Add lead. Okay, so it's in. Let's select. Click start calling, and hopefully we should be receiving a call. Okay, so we are getting an error, assistant ID should not exist. So let's tell it to figure out what the error is. Copy this here. This is the expected structure from the dot. Paste in the structure. Now let's see if it can figure out what's wrong. So it's actually going and searching through the VAPI documentation to figure out the correct structure. Right, so it's just going to edit the structure based on what it found. Okay, so try calling a lead again. It should work now. Let's click start calling. Okay, call initiated. We come here. Amazing.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi there. This is NYC Real Estate checking in. I was hoping to talk to you about New York City's real estate market and see if you're interested in exploring opportunities, whether for residence, an investment, or both. How's that sounding to you?
I was interested some time ago, but I am not interested at the moment. But thank you for checking in.
Thank you for letting me know. If anything changes or you want to revisit the possibilities in NYC real estate, feel free to reach out.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
All right, just cutting the call short for testing purposes. So we were able to initiate the call. The call was completed successfully. Now the next step is to actually build out the mechanism for receiving the status of the call back into our Lovable app. So if we go back to VAPI and come down to call logs, we'll see that there was a call placed. So if we click here, we can see the actual call that took place and the exact conversation. Now if we go to structured outputs, you will see that meeting scheduled is false, not interested is true. So everything is behaving as we had expected. And if we go down to webhook logs, So we'll see that there was an end of call report made to this URL. And remember, this is that fake URL that we have put in. So what we now need to do is actually put in the correct URL. So the reason we added a fake URL, we need to feed this request body back into VAPI to tell it to expect this kind of structure. And from this structure, it needs to extract that particular structured output, meeting booked or not interested. So I'm going to copy all of this. And you'll see that it's fairly long. It's a lot of information being sent. So let me just copy this, come back into Lovable, hit a few enters and drop this in, and just scroll up and copy the second part of the prompt. All right, so what we need to do is create a webhook to receive call logs. VAPI sends a lot of webhooks by default. So you'll see that there are a lot of webhooks being sent. But the one we're interested in is where message.type is end of call report. And you'll see that it is indeed end of call report. Here's a sample message that was sent from my last test call. Note the payload message artifact structured outputs is what we're looking to parse and update the database with. And if you scroll down, we'll actually see that the structured output is there somewhere. So here it is. This is the structured output. And you'll see that not interested is true and meeting scheduled is false. So let's send this message. It's going to create a webhook URL that we can then go back into VAPI and replace and test it again. All right, so it's understood the assignment, which is good. Let it do its thing. All right, so the webhook was created. Let's go ahead and copy this webhook URL, come back into VAPI, go to phone numbers, YouTube demo, and replace the server URL with the webhook URL that we just created. Hit save, and let's give this another test. Start calling.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi there. I'm reaching out on behalf of NYC Real Estate to check in and see if you're still interested in New York City real estate. Whether you're considering buying as a residence or as an investment, the NYC market continues to grow and present exciting opportunities. Have you been thinking about exploring options again?
Yes, I was. Thank you for calling.
Great to hear. The NYC real estate market is always bustling with opportunities, whether you're looking for a new home or a wise investment. Let's set up a time for a consultation to explore more about the current market and see how it aligns with your goal. Could you share your email address and let me know a suitable date and time for a meeting?
Yes, the email is abc@abc.net, and let's keep it for November 19th at 10 a.m.
Your meeting is confirmed for November 19th at 10 a.m. EST. You'll receive the calendar invite at your email address, abc@abc.net. We look forward to discussing NYC real estate with you. If you have any questions before then, feel free to reach out. Have a great day.
Thank you, you too. Bye. All right, so the call was completed. Now, hopefully, we will receive a webhook. All right, so the status was indeed completed. Now, we got this new little I button here. So if we click I, we'll see that we got the structured outputs where the meeting scheduled is true. We got the summary and we have the transcript and the recording, everything in here. Amazing. Right, and let's go into VAPI and just make sure that the meeting was actually scheduled as well. So if you go to call logs and open this up and scroll down in the transcript, we'll see that the Google Calendar tool was completed successfully. So let's open this up. Let's see if we can collapse this. And we have a calendar link here as well. So let me open this up and see if it's actually there. I may need to choose the right account. And we'll see that we do indeed have a NYC real estate consultation. Now, I'm in a different time zone right now, which is why the time zone is off, but you'll see that the email address is correct. Everything is all set. Now, in this version, we got all of the extra data in the logs over here. You could actually do is just tell, in your next prompt, you can just tell Lovable to move this extra information into the main leads table instead of the logs table, because the logs table is really only there for debugging. Like if you were doing 1,000 calls, it would be a pain to go through each one like this. So it's better to move this button into the leads table over here. Now I'm out of free credits for today, so I won't be able to do it in this video, but it's just a simple prompt for your next instruction and it will be able to move it successfully. And again, if you want the exact prompts that I used, you can find them in the school community. The link is in the description. If you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you could give it a like, and do remember to subscribe to the channel for more AI and automation content.